What's going on, everybody? I'm Keith, host of Just Our Thoughts with the Fellas, where 4 to 5 of my brothers give their perspective on national as well as local news. We touch on some trending hot topics as well as culturally relevant news. We also get a chance to dive into some deep core conversations. Check us out live every other Monday at 7 p.m. You can find us on Just Our Thoughts on YouTube live, as well as Just Our Thoughts fan page on Facebook. Also, please don't forget to follow us on IG, JOT with the Fellas. What's good, Warheen?
What up? What's up?
What's up, my good brother? What's going on, man?
Ain't not much. Gonna have to excuse the my what's going on with my internet and all that today.
Ward's having some technical difficulties over there.
Yeah,
but it's all good. We're gonna make this thing work, Warheen, because you always on the money with your stuff, man. Today we got Warheen with us. And if you can invite everybody, share, let everyone know that we have Monique Ragsdale joining us in about 15 minutes, the president-elect of the NAACP of Camden County. She'll be joining us. So if you could share this broadcast, this podcast with people. Ward, what's going on, man? It's just us.
Yeah, man. You know, on this Monday.
Yes, sir.
President Day, hat off today.
Okay. Yeah. You do anything special today?
Nah, man. I just relaxed. Try and enjoy some relaxation from all that hectic activity at Camden High.
Okay. He's still grinding, man. Still
grinding, man. Still grinding. Yo.
How's it happening with the weather? How's things going with the weather?
I haven't missed a beat. You know what I mean? When the snow fell, you know, we had a couple guys, you know, I ain't gonna say a couple guys, we had half the crew call out and for actually both days last week. And you know, and I understand a lot of the guys live a little bit further away than I do.
Yeah.
And streets was kind of bad trying to get out. So
I was coming home Saturday night, man, and the streets were like a sheet of ice. Absolutely a sheet of ice, man. And I'm like, this weather. I don't know. You got any thoughts on this weather? It's different. This weather is different.
Well, I'll put it this way. It ain't the fact that it's real different. It's just we haven't seen it in a while.
Absolutely. I agree.
And you know, just like because I can remember when I first started in the trade back in '93, and I don't know if you guys remember that ice storm we had in '94, the beginning of '94. I tried to make it to work. The street was literally a street coat of ice, man.
Yeah.
It was like, everybody's going like 5 miles an hour, and you was still sliding to stop. So, man, I just did a U-turn, and I said, I'm not trying to make it all the way to work.
Yeah.
I stopped at a buddy's house, and my car was a sheet of ice, literally. Yeah, so I know how this weather can be. You know what I mean? So don't take them chances if you don't have to.
Yeah, I was
I went back to work the next day.
Yeah.
And my boss totaled his truck trying to get to work. Yeah, so it's like sometimes you gotta forego that bit of money.
Yeah.
Whole ton of money. So.
Yeah. I just think it's different. I know Rob just said that it's winter, but we haven't had this in a while. So I feel I love the normalcy because this is what's supposed to happen in wintertime, like storms, winter, cold and snow. But it's, I don't, especially when it's snowing down there in Texas. I saw my boy, one of my old barber, man, he posted his house. It looked like it should have been up here somewhere with as much snow as they got down there.
Right.
Yeah. So, someone said today to pay attention to the times, is the sign of the time. So I'm not, I gotta, look into that one. But welcome, everybody. Welcome to Just Our Thoughts with the Fellas. I'm your host, Keith Hall. And this is where we talk about national and local news. We talk about trending topics. We talk about current topics. We also touch on core conversations and culturally relevant conversations as well. Today, I got my boy, my brother, Warheen, with me today. What's good, Warren?
Hey man, it's all good. It's
Yo,
all good,
it's
bro.
a pleasure having you, man. The fellas, I don't know. I think they still out having a good time during Valentine's weekend. They ain't want to come back, man. But
Yeah,
brother's the best. I know EBs is the twins. Our nephews, give them a shout out for their birthday. Um, so definitely want to get them a shout out. But it's just us two, my good brother. They left us hanging.
yeah,
But
yeah.
we got
Hey,
Monique
sometimes
Ragsdale.
it be that way.
Would you say?
Sometimes it be that way.
Sometimes it be like that, but we gonna rock. We got Monique Ragsdale with us today. She's gonna join us, man. Talk about the landscape that's going on in Camden County. Give us, some information. She is our classmate, 9-1. We've known Monique for a very, 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 very long time.
Very
So it's a
well.
pleasure to see great things, just continue to blossom and come out of Camden. So, she's not just only a friend. She
Yeah,
hangs out with us when we all get together at
yeah,
Ward's house.
yeah.
9-1 classmates. So, and drop
Yes,
some
sir.
gems on us. But if you can share, this podcast, go to JOT with the fellas on Instagram, go to Just Our Thoughts on YouTube and share, like, subscribe with your friends. We're definitely looking forward to having a good conversation. Ward, what's good, man? We in the middle of Black History Month, Ward.
Yeah.
Middle of Black History Month, man. What's your thoughts on Black History Month? I know a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people talk about it's a short month. We have the shortest month, but
Right.
I saw that its origin, it used to be a week, from a
Right.
Harvard trained historian, Carter G. Woodson. He, started the Black History Month theme, and ever since, we've been celebrating Black History Month. So, kudos to everyone that's out there that's celebrating it, that's enjoying it, despite having 28 days during this time. So continue to celebrate our history, continue to, be a part of our history and make history. What's good, Ward?
Well, hey man, I have my just a little take on it. Is I agree that our history should be celebrated. It
Right.
should be brought to the forefront, but I don't agree that we're limited. I ain't gonna say that we're limited, but it's like society limits us to now a month
Mm-hmm.
to say that we have a history, that we
Right.
are relevant in this world.
Right.
But it's crazy how if it wasn't for Black history, there would be no history.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I never could get with the fact that we have, it's like we only celebrate it at, in February, and then the other, 11 months is like we don't talk about it,
Mm-hmm.
as,
Now.
as a society. Not to say
Yeah.
that we all don't, because I know I do, and I
Yeah.
know a lot.
Yeah.
We all talk about it, and,
Right.
and there's do, but I just feel as though it should be included all year round within
Absolutely.
history and our studies and everything.
Right. 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 Now,
Yeah.
weren't you telling me something about a principal?
Yeah, man. There was this principal, and let me see. Her name is Christy Caldwell Drake.
Mm-hmm.
She sent out an email newsletter to the parents of East Ridge Middle School in Chattanooga, Tennessee,
Okay.
with the phrase "All Lives Matter"
Mm-hmm.
as the theme for Black History Month. You know what I mean? A
She was a sister.
black female.
Okay.
Black female, yeah, and that was very surprising to me. But she since issued an apology.
Okay. Okay.
Saying she was going to take it down. But it's like, come on, sister, really?
Right. Right.
All lives matter. It's like we understand every life matters.
Absolutely.
It really does. But when people take that away from us, saying, it's like it's not saying that only Black lives matter. It's just saying, yo, we have a voice too.
Yeah.
And that's
Absolutely.
basically what the movement started as. Like, look, we're also included in this. Don't count us out.
Mm-hmm.
But people, they wanted to hijack this thing and make it into more than what it,
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
something that it wasn't.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
But
Okay.
I also want to bring up another thing too, because there was this GOP candidate from Michigan
Mm-hmm.
running for governor, and last Monday on the 8th, he tweeted that he wanted to cancel Black History Month. He wanted to cancel the celebration of Black History Month in the state of Michigan.
Okay.
So, yeah, citing he's saying that it's offensive, unfair, and maybe illegal.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was the exact same face when I read it.
Really? Okay.
How can it be illegal to try to give some props to some people?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So
It,
so like so he also said that Americans from all backgrounds deserve a revered history.
mm-hmm.
I declare American History Month. What a slap in the face. Somebody, we need to go find that brother. And we need to get the what was the name of that movie that where they would find somebody and they were trying to erase the brainwashing thing. I think it was Spike Lee John.
I
I
forget.
can't that joint. But that was
Nah, yo, it's crazy because if they did that American History Month, they would be a small portion of the history because they stole America. So
well,
they wouldn't be a huge part of. Say that again.
America was stolen.
Yeah,
Or
absolutely.
I should say America, this land that we are residing on.
Right.
Stolen.
Oh man, yeah. So it's some crazy stuff going on. You've been watching anything?
Nah, not lately.
I finally saw American Skin.
Right.
American Skin. It's something we talk about. We for those that I'm sure everybody got their threads with their friends. We got our threads with ours, and two of our dearest friends, Jim and E. Coleman. These brothers are some movie watchers, and they sharing all the time the TV shows and movies that they watch. So I create my list from them, as we all do. In American Skin, I thought about you, Ward. I thought about you, and what would you do in a situation like that? God forbid you would be in a situation like that as the main character. But I thought about you, when the I forget the character's name. When the main character, when he went into the prison, he took the murderer cop, and he began to
the precinct.
Yeah, in the precinct. I
Yeah.
thought about you, Ward. I said, man, I wonder if Ward would pop this dude.
No. You know what? Because watching it, everything he did, I totally agree with.
Right.
Because it's just like we are, from time to time, I've said it in front of some white counterparts at the work at the job and everything. It's like, it's not that we want revenge. We don't. I really don't want revenge. Absolutely. I just want you to understand that I just want the exact same opportunities and so-called rights.
Absolutely.
That I don't want revenge. I just want to be treated fairly.
Right.
Because I want to treat you the way you treat me.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I thought from different perspectives, it was some great dialogue within that movie, and I would definitely, man, it's some movies that's out, man. Judas the Messiah, I still want to check that out. I didn't get a chance to check that out yet. It was messing up on my Fire Stick, so I gotta figure that one out. So hey, let's bring Monique in, man. Let's bring Monique in. We're gonna introduce Monique, and let's get rolling. If you can, share with your friends. Let them know we got Monique Ragsdale, President-elect of the Camden County NAACP, about to join us. just to sit down and kick it with us, talk to us about the landscape, what's going on in Camden County, some of her vision, some issues and some concerns that she'd like to focus on. So we got Monique Ragsdale, who was raised and educated in the public schools of Camden, New Jersey. She's a former graduate from Camden High, 91.
Yes, sir. 91.
School of Business in Camden County, specializing in computer literature, science, and communication. She was eager to pursue her goals, and she continued her studies at Rutgers University, majoring in economics. Her recent commitment entailed informing and empowering residents. She had advocated and testified on local and state levels regarding legislation, and deregulation for Camden's residents and children's education. In November 2018, Monique was one of the plaintiffs that won the lawsuit for a Camden School Board member to be elected. She attempts to preserve and protect public education by obtaining local control and transparency while opposing educational budget cuts. Monique, that joint was long as that. It was like, I got like, yo. But thank you, Monique. Thank you for joining us. You know I'm silly, and I like to have a good time. Thanks for coming on, joining us, Monique. And sharing, congratulations on being our president-elect for the Camden County part of the NAACP. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. We can hear you pretty good too. We can hear you pretty
awesome.
Good. So Monique, talk to us about, your upbringing. Talk to us about your upbringing, and those that don't know you, if you can share, a little bit about your upbringing, for us.
Sure, no problem. My upbringing was pretty tough, because it was family centered. Everybody knew everyone's family in the neighborhood. Yeah, couldn't get away with too. Anybody was allowed to get you if you stepped out of line. So, right. I learned some very good values and ethics growing really close. Mm-hmm. Thinking about my childhood, I compared to the children now who don't know, like, this is the Greens, that's the house, or that's, they don't grow up like that, because now Camden is more transitional.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you mean Camden is more transitional?
Well, the history is more renters, and it's people move a lot now. It's not more stable, like, you would know people that have been in their house 20 years and stuff. So I went back to where I grew up in Fairview, and I went back there, and it changed a lot. Right.
Monique, did you go to HB Wilson?
Yes.
You did go. Okay. I was trying to remember if you went with us to HB Wilson. Got you. So when did what started this process for you to get this passion, to be able to advocate for Camden residents? Where did that come from?
That all started with my children's school, Landing Square.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember back in 2011, that's when most of the programs started getting cut, and, they were supposed to build, they split the one school, Landing Square, into two different locations. One was in Broadway, the other was at Feathers. And I just wanted to get more involved because one of the things that I liked about the neighborhood school is that all my kids to go to school together, just like I did with my family when I was growing up. So that was one of the first things that got me involved.
Okay.
And it kind of evolved around that. I started with education and then finding out everything else. And I just education is everything. So.
Right. Yeah. No, I got you. It definitely is. So what is the process? Because I saw that you were elected a while ago. When are you being sworn in?
So when I get sworn in will be when they set a date for me to be was elected January the 17th. And then by the Nationals. So I will be sworn in as we get a date, and we should know by at least the 22nd of.
All right. Okay. So this is about a month. That's about a month. Is that normal?
No, it's normal.
It's not normal.
No, it's not.
All right. So okay. So it's not
I had
normal.
a life. I'm still fighting.
Now, I'm trying to get an understanding of what you fighting. Is this some Donald Trump type of, someone doesn't want to concede?
Yes, it's pretty much
Okay.
that. It was a challenge. It was a challenge election. Actually, our members voted twice. They voted originally in November. Now they voted in January. And now there's a challenge after the election. So
Really? Wow.
yeah.
Wow. So Monique Ragsdale, president-elect, is the first woman to be president of the Camden County chapter of the NAACP. Can you talk to us about what that feels like and what that means to you and your family?
Actually, it was a lot. When I originally set out to run for candidacy for president, I had no idea. I never even thought about being the first woman, but
Right.
I put my mind to something I usually go hard on. And just realizing that probably this was in November, we just realized, well, you'd be the first woman president of NAACP. It felt good. It felt like a great accomplishment. NAACP.
Say that last part again. It broke up for a second.
Because it is the NAACP.
Right.
Shocking. Yes.
Okay. Well, you got something right now? I saw your lips moving, brother.
Nah, I'm just listening. I'm listening.
Yeah. So Monique, a few years ago, you were in opposition of a Renaissance school. What was it about these schools that you were opposed to?
For first, I was opposed to the legislation. It's private entities that get public fund dollars from our district to run these schools. The Renaissance, or the Urban, which is basically, it was sponsored by the then Donald Norcross, who's now is Congress, Whit Wilson and Angel, explaining to them it's the same legislation, just two things different. One was that it was automatic enrollment in schools for the pupil. And number two is 95% pupil cost versus the 90% of the charter school.
Okay.
Which comes out of our district funds.
Okay. Well,
and that was
it is a little choppy on your end, I feel like. Yeah, because I definitely want to get what you get. I don't want to miss anything that you're saying.
I don't want to hear. I'm gonna miss not one word.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna just go slower. Let me know where if it's choppy.
I got you. Yeah. You good.
All right. So it started with the legislation, 2011. I was opposed to it for two main reasons. One, it was a private entity that utilized public funds for the students from our district. Two is automatic enrollment in the catchment area for up to 5 schools in the city of Camden. 3, well, I got more reasons. There's a segregated bill, and it was sponsored by Donald Norcross, Angel Fuentes, Wilson, for Camden, Newark, and Trenton. Newark and Trenton never entertained that bill, but Camden did. So that's we only use Renaissance School in New Jersey and for only Camden City.
And for what city?
Just for Camden.
Okay.
Yes. So there's a lot of reasons why I opposed
to it.
Yes.
So I saw recently, on social media, and we've talked over the years. I saw recently, and where I am, when it comes to Camden, and how things play out. I saw recently where there was a lot of heightened conversation about these schools. Is about, I think, 4 schools closing.
Yes, it was originally 5.
You said 5.
Was originally announced for.
And individuals losing their job.
Wow.
You lose students, you lose educators, you lose maintenance, it's a domino effect.
Right. So is this connected to the Renaissance School?
Well, yes, it would, because the schools that they're proposed to closing, Yorkshire, Sharp, and Wiggins, these are areas where the last standing district schools are. So you can guess which schools they will be going to, because we're kitty. So to go to the nearest one, which will be a Renaissance school.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. And it's definite that they're closing. Is it anything that can be done to save
Oh
these
no,
schools?
it's not definite.
Okay.
It's not definite yet.
Okay.
We are still under state control, and the deciding person will be the Commissioner of State Education of New Jersey. That's who we're speaking with now to step in and intervene, because we state control, and obviously, if there is a deficit and they drop the ball on things, it's because of the state.
Really? Dang.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's crazy.
The state's hurting us, because I just found out something that really hit me hard was, at Camden High, because it's a state job, Camden City doesn't get any money from permits or anything like that. They have no say in what's going on with Camden High.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, and I could just piggyback, because we're Abbott district, so anything that has to do with renovations over 150,000 school is the school's authority. That's the state.
That sounds like it could be every school.
Yeah.
Oh yes, it is every school.
It is.
Yeah, it's every school.
That is every school.
Yeah.
Over 150,000. Yes.
150,000 is nothing.
Yeah, that's there. That's nothing.
That's a drop in a bucket for any type of renovation.
So that's where we are failing in this city, as holding people accountable for the things that's happened when they talk about the schools and things like that.
And Monique, how are people being held accountable?
Right now, people are not being held accountable.
Okay, you said they're not.
They're not being held accountable. That's something that needs to be done consistently, early and often, not just when, there's an issue or, where, boom, we got to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of the reasons why I'm still fighting for control. It matters, they control, and what are they controlling?
Right.
Everything they're doing is letting go and not monitoring anything.
So I read you had made a statement that in an article, in one of the many articles that you were in, that you think board members should be elected versus appointed.
Yes.
What's your thoughts behind that?
Thoughts about that? People should be elected because you're chosen by the people. When you're appointed, that's someone giving you I want somebody that's a self-thinker, critical thinker, to think out of the box. I'm spotted somebody. That's why I would never go for appointed for a position. You're sitting. And right now, appointed board members for us for state control, even our elected ones, doesn't even have voting powers yet. We get voting powers until we control from type 2 back to type 1 school district. So we still have 3 more board members we need to bring in.
Okay. And what does that process look like?
That process is a difficult process. One of the main reasons, that's why I fought for the elected school board member. It's difficult, but it's something that we need to, everyone, parent, community, everybody needs to go to. That's the QSAC. It's been our school enrollment, our pupils, our education, academics. It's a lot. One of the things that I was upset being the state control was that board members, and even if they disagree with the superintendent or anything else, there's nothing no one can do because they have no voting powers.
Really? Damn. Okay.
So it's not a democratic.
How can you be on a board and not have voting power? That's just idiotic to me.
I didn't hear Monique's response.
Yeah. She said
state control.
Okay.
Which response?
So is it me? I'm wondering, is it my signal? Because I can't hear.
Think so. I think because I hear you just fine, Keith.
Okay.
Mo, yeah, it's only Mo is kind of breaking up.
Okay. So Mo, as the president-elect for the NAACP, what's some of your focus going to be going into 2021?
Some of my focus in 2021, I have kind of a wide range focus. One of them is recruitment of Camden County because it is representation of county. Another is engaging all members, not only being active, but actually having a voice and a fully we have different committees from legal redress, education, safety, political action. So there's many committees, but not all of our committees have been fully ran, and I want all of them to be fully ran with volunteers and members in that. Are you still having trouble hearing me? I'm seeing you squinting.
No, I'm listening.
Okay.
I'm listening. I'm tuned in. Go ahead, you got it. So what are some of the benefits? What are some of the benefits as becoming a member of the NAACP?
The benefits of becoming a NAACP to be involved, be trained, find out things about your community and your city and your county. State conference, you have local conference, you have national conference, and also some of the upcoming issues for Lives Matters, how ways you can get involved and engage yourself. And so a very strong support, getting people out there and informing people. That is the most benefit. And you also get the Crisis Magazine, comes out every 3 months, just so keep you updated on the things that's going on around you.
Got you.
Hey, Mo, so how do you become a member?
You can become a member by online right now. During this pandemic, we're doing everything online. It's NAACP called Join Us, and you hit the member page. And we are Camden County Local 2080. And you can become a member. It's $30 a year for membership. And for students, as long as you're a student all the way up to college, up to the age of 26, $10 a year to join. Okay. And there's other programs and stuff that they offer too, with Axel scholarships. There's so many other benefits, depending on your members, because we have a democratic process just like any place else. But what there's issues on and what they're getting involved, that's how their issues, and that's how I will help them be empowered to do what they want to do.
Got you. All right, that sounds good. I years ago I used to do workshops. I think it was at Gloucester County NAACP. I did some workshops in the Defford Library, and I never focused on, joining and being a member, and what it takes to the process and being a member and some of the benefits. So that's dope. You mentioned Black Lives Matter. What's your thoughts, on the Black Lives Matter issue or concern or agenda? Or go ahead, Ward.
I would say it said it's not about all lives matter. It's called Black Lives Matter too. So Black Lives Matter is actually a slogan that's being utilized. And my thoughts on it, I have a slew of thoughts, and I don't want to give up all my strategy.
Right.
But one of the things that they need to concentrate on is training for excessive force is something. And the only reason why I did this, honestly, because 2003, I was a police officer recruiting class 40. So I know how they train. And one of the that we need to do is combat that training that the officers. When I failed for gun range, this is what I fell for. I was shooting birds and bees, but not the targets. But you empty your clip and you shoot for the heart. That is what you're based on. So that's something that was disturbing to me, even as a and another thing I think that is a citizen review board. Sometimes we need to be involved in that as well. We don't get to participate that, and I think that especially if they're saying they're community policing, needs a citizen residential review board. But that's just a few things that I can think of. Black Lives Matter is horrible. This stuff for years, and one of the things that's most disturbing is that we still have to find that.
Well, all right. Well, on this Black Lives Matter thing is like I have my reservations about the organization itself. Do you have any thoughts on the organization? Not just the slogan, but the actual organization.
No, I have no thoughts on the organization. And actually, I was part of Black Lives Matters in New Jersey. And they're no longer there. So when you say Black Lives Matter in New Jersey, they're talking about the slogan, not the organization.
Okay.
Got you. Monique, during the George Floyd protests that happened throughout the world, there was a lot of protests, a lot that was going on, and during these protests, Camden specifically was highlighted for their non-peaceful protest. I thought it was great. What was it about Camden? Would you say, Ward?
You mean peaceful protest, not non-peaceful.
What did I say?
You said non-peaceful. Nah, we wasn't looting and rioting.
Yeah. All right, my bad. Thank you for correcting. Camden was noted for their peaceful protests. What is it about the residents, our residents of Camden, that we could come together during times like this, to show unity, and to show that togetherness, during times like that where we want to protest and demonstrate and let those know how we feel about certain things. What is it about our residents at Camden residents?
When you speak of our residents, I can't remember any rally, even before George Floyd, where ever been, except when you talk about the 70s. Right. That's just not the makeup of this community. Mm-hmm. And then if you think about it versus other cities, and this kind of sound bad, we don't really have anything here. Tear down again or whatever. We have nothing here in Camden, all we can do is feelings and speak about it. But speaking to some of the children, I wasn't really involved in the march, but I went out there because I seen kids out there, and what they wanted to hear their voices heard. And this is a recruitment with the millenniums. They wanted to be heard, and they said they don't have a platform where they can speak about things like this.
Right. Because I know we talked about it before, but it's like, the Camden politicians want to keep Camden residents like mushrooms in the dark and feeding us shit.
Yes. It's true. We're very, they take the spotlight of everything. Our voices is muted, but what do you expect? Rotated from the state all the way up to the city that's been in there over two. Are we really looking for change? Right. Let's think about that.
Right.
I made the city council for 20 years. Some of the assembly people and the people that's up in legislation, senators, been council people. They're just moving them all around, playing, musical chairs. Right. So. Right. We're going to find these people. Where are we going to learn to vote, and research the people that we vote for that's excellent for the city or for the county. That's one of the things been more transforming people, because we see Democrats, Republicans, and, I'm just Democrat or I'm just Republicans. We need to start voting smarter than that. A lot of this stuff is we need to go deeper into. Yeah.
Because I don't know if you remember, Mo, when we were working together on that little group we had, we were trying to get the voter registration thing going, and then we would stay out there at on Hatton Avenue on the that little special day we used to have. Can't remember the name of it. I think it was Hatton Day, or it was like, the census from the street. People they didn't, not for one, they didn't know who was who. Mm-hmm. And two, a lot of the young ones were like, well, my vote don't count. It's like, how do we change this attitude from these, especially of the young ones, because they're the ones that really are going to be taking over for us. Like, how do we change their mind? Let them know that, yes, you do have a vote. And sometimes that one vote can make a difference.
Right.
And that's true. And I did find a lot of it. That's how I know a lot of people, they vote by, their party and not know who they actually vote for, from us doing surveys and me doing door knocks. But one of the things I convinced them to get them to vote. When you look at this assessor's force, and police officers are going to jail, and if they do get it, and then they go to a trial, and then the trial, we don't get judged by the jury of our peers. And what's the first thing we say? Oh, we don't want to do jury duty. Well, we need to be more involved to get in. So you can see how, and one of the things is being a registered voter, that's one of the things you get picked for. And it's not enough of us that do that. We always trying to ditch and dodge. And that's one of my classic example. Another one is that if it's something that you really had and somebody was come out with an agenda just for you and your community, and you went to all your family members and your friends, no, your one voice is not going to help. But this is a conversation that has to be dealt with through your friends, through your family, and everybody else for you to come together and agree on that person that you're going to back and vote on. So a lot of times, yes, one vote is not going to help. But when you think about it, you got to let them see the mindset of how the voting works and how to get everybody together. And then I always focus on local, everybody runs out for the presidential. The presidential have all these laws, but what really hurts us is our politics in the local. We don't pay attention to that. People want to turn their heads to that, but that's most important. Those are things that can affect you directly and indirectly.
Right.
So, a few years ago, recently, former Governor Christie, he signed a legislation that provided more than $265 million for job creation and community revitalization. What is that smirk for? However, it's written that you didn't feel as if that money was used correctly. Can you talk about?
Yes, actually, I could speak on that. First of all, there was never a type of community benefit and they didn't change the name from community benefit, now community investment, but there's nothing that was done for the community. There was some broken promises, even with some of the corporations that came here, that they were going to partner with this person, partner with that. And even now, as a homeowner paying my taxes keep going up, I knew that it was going to come back on us. And when you go there and I'll say, oh, how many employees you have? How many are from Camden? And I'm not going to put the company out there, but they got 47 employees and 4 of them is from Camden. What is the actual benefit of having that tax break or being here or, So I told them, look, if you can't hire people, at least why don't they have some type of agreement where they can go into the high school, do some type of training, some internships, things of that nature where that hey, if there's not people in this community for those jobs, maybe you can find an interest and help them work them. We have 3 colleges here. There's no reason why we shouldn't have these programs and stuff tied to it. So we have absolutely nothing at all connected to the residents for just a handful of people, and that's not a community benefit. If you're going to bring some corporation here, you want to what we want is for Camden to survive on its own and not heavily on federal and state funding.
Right.
So that's why I would object to it.
No. So do you find that in poor cities that like Camden across the country, is it do you think is symbolic, is reminiscent and very, very similar how the city is being ran through politics and schooling and education, really? Okay.
Yes, I'll say urban cities. Yes, it's pretty much the same. It's usually you don't find 4 to 5 different types of schools in urban suburban areas, but you do it in an urban area. You don't find these big tax. And think about some of these corporations. They only came like 15 miles away from Marlton or something like that. All they did was move their employees from one location to the other. And then yes, and then gentrification as well. I said new gentrification is to rezone the city. Like I live downtown. So, and it's getting more commercial than residential, and then tax us, it's a new type of gentrification. And a lot of people don't understand that, but because I'm like at the zoning board, I'm at the CRA, I'm at the city council, but I learned all this just for fighting for education. All this stuff ties in together.
Right.
Yeah.
That's dope. Ward, you got anything?
Stop being a mushroom, Camden.
What'd you say?
Stop being a mushroom. We got to get out there. We got to, be involved in your city.
Yeah. So what are some of the you talked about the focus and some of the hot items that you'd like to focus on? Now, is that through Camden County? Because you're president of Camden County.
Yes.
You know, would your focus be different? You know, looking at the other towns and other cities, and or how does that work?
Well, our membership is made up of various cities in Camden County. So that's how it will be made up, with their issues and their concerns and what they bring with the committees, depending on the committees. Yes.
Okay. Now that's good. Monique, you want to leave us with anything?
No. Oh yes, Black History and 12th anniversary for the NAACP.
Dope. And we have it, the great Monique Ragsdale, president-elect of the NAACP, Camden County. Thanks for joining us, Monique. You know, we'll stay in contact, we'll communicate. You know, you got us as a friend. Madam President Monique, how does it feel just watching? One last question: how does it feel watching, you know, Vice President Kamala Harris, you know, step into her role as the first Black, you know, to be in office? What did that feel? How did that feel for you?
It was great. I actually had a whole inauguration party.
Yeah.
Yes. I was proud. I was really proud.
No, that's what's up. That's what's up. Yo, women, these sisters are taking over, man. We got Stacey Abrams. We got these sisters taking over, man, in office and pushing the envelope, you know, putting their foot down and moving. That's what I'm talking about. Monique Ragsdale, president-elect of the NAACP. Monique, we appreciate you. We will be talking to you soon. If you can, share and like this podcast on YouTube. Share it with your friends. Reach out, you know, to Monique. She has her page, and just tap into her if you can. Thank you, Monique. We'll be talking soon, sis.
Thank you. See
you. All right. See you. Warheen.
Yo.
What up, man?
Yes.
Monique dropping gems as usual.
All the time. That class of 91 is something else.
Yes, sir. That class of 91. Ward, you got anything for me?
Nah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna wrap this show up. Another great podcast, another great show that we have with Monique Ragsdale, president-elect of the NAACP. She'll let us know when she'll be sworn in. We'll definitely put it out there because it'll be on, I think it'll be on Zoom or anything, and everybody can watch it. So let's support Monique and her efforts, you know, and all that she does, you know, for Camden County. This is Keith Hall, and these are just your thoughts with the fellas. Peace.